Bom dia, boa tarde. It's cold. Well, relatively speaking. But I am surprised. This winter, we're in winter right now down here in the southern hemisphere. It's mid-July. It's been quite rainy and chilly. I mean, I think it's probably in the low 70s Fahrenheit. Not exactly even cool, but you know, your blood thins down here in the tropics. And yes, I wish I had a light jacket on right now. My brother-in-law, Eliomar, just picked me up on the back of his motorcycle, and we're going to have acai today, Wednesday, at our local acai shop, ice cream store. Everything's 40% off on Wednesday, so we're going to take advantage and go have acai. You know I'm addicted to acai. I shouldn't be eating it. I'm a diabetic. But hey, I'm not a saint, and since I've given up all other vices, a bowl of acai is not going to kill me. I hope. O cunhado Eliomar. Açaí. Con frutas. Even though it's a little cool outside, we're still having some ice cold acai. I love it. With fruit, of course, to make it a little bit healthy. Here at our local acai shop. Or this is actually ice cream that has acai. It's nice having a brother-in-law who is also a motor taxi driver, because when I need to go somewhere like downtown and I don't feel like walking, especially on a rainy day like today, hello, I'm speaking English. I'm being stared at. Not unusual, especially when I speak English. It's nice having a brother-in-law who can come pick me up and give me a ride. Hey, it's the next day, and look at it. Today is absolutely beautiful. The sun is out and shining. It's warm. The rain has disappeared, and it has been raining for days and days, and it's been chilly. Last night I didn't even have the fan on. Now, that's highly unusual, but today it's kind of back to normal, at least for a few days. Very, very nice. And I'm walking downtown right now. As I've mentioned before, it takes me about 1 hour to walk from my apartment to the center of town. It's a good walk, good exercise. And what am I going to do when I get to the center of town? Well, I'm going to have a late breakfast. It's about 9:45 a.m. right now. And I need to buy a bowl, like a cereal bowl, because I only have one bowl at home, and there's 2 of us living in the apartment, which is kind of ridiculous. So, and maybe stop at the bookstore too. Oh, and the plant store, yes, definitely. I need a new plant. Last night I watched an excellent documentary on Netflix. The name of it is Apocalypse in the Tropics. Very informative and disturbing documentary. You know, 20, 30 years ago, about 5% of the population of Brazil was evangelical Christian. Now it's risen to 30% evangelical, which is quite alarming. Brazil is still the largest Catholic country in the world, but evangelicals have made huge inroads. Maybe this wouldn't be so bad, but unfortunately they have become very, very involved in Brazilian politics. And of course, they're very conservative, anti-feminist, anti-gay, anti-sex education in public schools, anti-everything that's progressive. And they were very much involved and responsible for the attempted coup when ex-President Bolsonaro lost the last presidential election. The evangelicals were very involved in trying to stage a coup. Fortunately, they were not successful. And Bolsonaro is just a few steps away of going to prison. But their influence is still very great in Brazilian's political scene. So if it's available in your country, in the United States or Canada or Europe, do try to see it. Anyway, enough of politics. I really have to be careful when I'm walking downtown because you can see these sidewalks here are very, very uneven. You're constantly having to step up onto different levels. These are not straight, flat sidewalks. There's all sorts of steps up and down, gradients into garages, potholes, and it would be very, very easy for me at 70 or for anybody at any age to trip and fall while walking down the street if you're not looking carefully. So I got to be careful when I'm filming. It's not going to stop me from filming, but I just have to frequently look down in front of me to make sure I don't misstep and break my arm, shoulder, leg, or head. I just stopped at the pharmacy to get my medication. I take this one for high blood pressure, but I take 5 milligrams, and all of the pharmacies I went into this morning only sell 20 milligrams. So fortunately I have a pill splitter, a pill cutter that I got at Walgreens up in California, and I'll use that to divide the pill into four, so that I'm only taking 5 milligrams a day. Just have to do that sometimes in Brazil, but thank God for pill cutters. And now it's time for breakfast, which is located inside the supermarket. It's a by the kilo place, kind of like a buffet, and this is where I like to have breakfast or lunch sometimes. This. Here we go, a nice vegetarian breakfast. And now I'm in Le Biscuit at my mall. This store is like I guess like a Target. And what am I looking for? A bowl. There must be some where in here. Here are some bowls. That's our library there in San Antonio. You know, that reminds me, I know some of you have heard of and used the website Goodreads. I love Goodreads because it keeps track of all of the books I've read. When I read a new book, I can add it to my list of books I've read and write a review if I want to. And I could also look at other people's reviews and lists and get ideas for new books that I want to read. It's just simply a great site for people who love to read. Well, anyway, when I lost when my cell phone was stolen in February at Carnival, I lost access to my Goodreads account because I lost access to my email account, lost all my passwords, and so I cannot sign in to Goodreads, which, you know, seems ridiculous to me that I can't access it, but I can't. And so I'm debating now whether to start a new Goodreads account. And, you know, on one hand, it seems frustrating that I've lost my entire reading history of all of the hundreds or thousands of books I've read over the years and all of my reviews. But I guess there's no harm in starting all over again. And I know the first book I add will soon grow into a long list. And so I think I will open a new Goodreads account, but it is sad and frustrating that I lost access, and I wish, you know, Google websites that use Google passwords were not so difficult to recuperate if you lose a password. But anyway, enough about Goodreads. Here's our city hall. My final stop today here in the center is going to be my favorite plant store to get a new plant. Let's go there. When I returned home after my 2.5-month stay up in California, I saw that about half of my plants were dead. You know, my niece was supposed to water them, and I was paying her to do it, and also paying her to take care of the cat. but you know, you're either a plant person or you're not a plant person. And she is not a plant person. Somehow she watered some of the plants, but not all of them. I don't understand that. How difficult it is to aim the hose at all of the plants. It's a very small garden. But anyway, so I'm slowly replacing them. Also, my niece has a very bad habit of borrowing my books and then not returning them, which really, really irritates me because I care about my books. I don't mind lending them, but I do expect them to be returned. And I'm going to have to set a rule with her that she cannot borrow my books anymore, which is sad, because I want to encourage people. I always want to encourage people to read, but they also have to respect books, and they have to respect the fact that I'm lending and not giving. So the latest book I lent to her, she has not returned yet. If she does not return this book, then I'm going to have to set down the rule of her to not touch my books anymore. Sad but true. I know where the book is. She did not borrow it for herself. She borrowed it from me and then lent it or gave it to a friend of hers, which really pisses me off. It was not hers to give or to borrow. So that is double the reason why I'm going to forbid her from taking any more of my books. You know, she's 20 years old, and I know I did a lot of stupid, irresponsible things when I was 20, but the only way you learn is by setting boundaries. Well, I ended up getting a hibiscus. Hopefully it survives. And, oops, have a hard time grabbing this thing here. Well, I ended up getting a hibiscus. Hopefully it survives my week-long vacation next month. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now. Thanks you for joining me today on my walk downtown, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Beijos, ciao.